This mama has a very busy schedule today, but because I'm trying to declutter my entire home in just 5 weeks to make the holidays easier, I'm going to do it first thing before the day gets out of control. First up, coffee, as always, to get me going. Good morning. Happy day 5 of the challenge already. I can't believe today's the last day of week 1 already. Today, it's the dining room. Now, our dining room is not that big. There's not a lot in here. But I'm going to get it done first thing this morning when I have a little bit of time because the rest of my day is just crazy. So let's get to it. Our dining room is definitely on the smaller side. However, with the wall of windows and then it's fully open to another room, it does give the illusion of being bigger than it is. We try to keep things minimal in here just because of the space. So on this left side, you're going to see my coffee and tea bar. This entire left cupboard is just full of mugs, water bottles, travel mugs, and backup coffee and tea makers. Just because, like, if our Keurig or our electric kettle ever die, we don't want to go too long without our coffee. So I'm going to start by going through our mugs. I did do this recently when our 2 older children moved out, just to make sure they had all of their cups and mugs with them. So actually, these mugs right here are enough for the 3 of us who are still here and then guests. We have pared this down, but we still have a lot. And just going through each shelf individually, each item, wiping down the shelves, because I don't dust in here often. I tend to forget to do that. So I'm just going to make sure while I'm in here, I'm going to just wipe down each shelf quickly. There's really not that much that I'm going to get rid of today. It's mostly just water bottles that I know that we don't use. I love this little basket that I put on this shelf to hold the little water bottles and some travel mugs, just so they don't get lost in here. So I find that smaller ones do get lost in here, especially because it's a dark cabinet. And then like the bigger ones, like the ones that I use regularly, I'm just going to like sit and have be freeform. And then my soup mugs go on the left. And then here's all the things that are backup for if our coffee maker or our electric kettle decided to die. I almost thought about getting rid of my R2D2 coffee press, but then I'm like, he's so cute, I can't part with him. And then the right side is all of our tea and our hot chocolate. And then I have my mushroom coffee in here as well as our coffee supplies for every morning. Our coffee grounds do sit up on the top of the cabinet. You can see them in a jar right there, just for easy access. So at night when I prepare the coffee, it's right there. It's really easy to access. But like the coffee filters, I'll go on the inside just so they don't get hair or anything on them. You're going to see me alternating tea bags. I like to move them over and restock once in a while. So when we buy the big boxes, I move them to smaller boxes just for easy organization and ease of like storage. And I have found that if you alternate them, like one right side up and the next one upside down, you can fit more tea bags in a storage. And then I'm just going to go through and I'm going to actually pull out a few teas for my daughter. She loves tea in the colder months, so I'm going to send her some tea for college so she can be cozy and warm at the end of a day, and just pull out some older teas that, you know, we've had for a while that just don't smell well, or ones that we didn't like. I also am throwing out my instant coffee grounds. I did not like the flavor of these ones. Why I've been holding on to them. I'm never going to use them. And just making sure that everything has been gone through, restocked. There's a couple R2D2 canisters. You're going to see a theme here in our coffee bar. The top one has my husband's decaffeinated tea in it, and then the green one on the middle shelf is my green tea that I love every night. And just making sure that everything is just gone through. I try to do this regularly. I did this within the past year because we got this new cupboard system, but we have a problem. We kind of hoard tea, so just to keep it under control, we really do need to go through it regularly. And then I'm going to move on to the bottom shelf and go through the hot cocoa, make sure everything is still within the expiration date, seeing if we need to be restocked. I know my older son will be coming home in a couple weekends for a couple days because they don't have classes Monday and Tuesday, so just want to make sure we're fully restocked for him while he's at home, or if he wants to take any back to school with him, and just making sure that everything is neat and tidy and the shelf is all wiped down, and then we'll be ready to move on to the other side of the room to the buffet. On the left side of our buffet, I store on the top shelf our cookbooks and our recipe binder. That way they're easily accessible, but they're out of the way. They're not getting ruined. Although, funny I say that, as I was picking these up and going through them, one of them was looking a little bendy because it's been knocked over for a little bit. There really isn't much to get rid of in here. There's just a couple little cookbooks that have come in our home that we've just thrown in here, but we've never used them. So I'm going to just remove those and just tidy everything up. The ice cream maker still works great, so I don't have to worry about getting rid of that. And then in the 3 drawers, the top drawer has like our coasters, our runners, and the accessories for our gaming table. Nothing really to get rid of in here, just going through and making sure that we really want to keep everything. I actually am getting rid of my Doctor Who coasters just because the ones that we love are falling apart. So I'm not really going to keep them. We haven't used them in our long time. So just putting everything back and keeping it nice and tidy. And then in that middle drawer is our emergency bin. So we have like glow sticks, we keep matches and candles and our batteries in there. I'm just going to give this a quick go through. I'm going to get rid of a few of the candles, like a battery operated one that just eats through batteries really quickly. There's a candle in here that I don't really like the smell of, so we never burn it. And just make sure that everything in here is easily accessible and it's going to work if for some reason our power goes out. So just making sure that that drawer is tidy. And then this bottom drawer really isn't much, but this is the lid to my favorite fall candle. So I'm just going to put it in the candle drawer. And moving on to the right side of the buffet, this is where we keep our small appliances like our waffle maker and our rice cooker, our slow cooker. Just going to give this a wipe down. The instruction manual for the rice cooker is actually going to go into the recipe book so it doesn't get lost. There are some recipes in there that we need to look at once in a while just when we're making things in there that we're not used to. I'm going to give this a wipe down. This actually was pretty sticky in here, so it's going to need a couple scrub downs on this bottom shelf. So while I was down here, I decided to wipe down the front of the buffet as well. Just make good use of my time as things soaked on the bottom shelf, wiping it all down, making sure it's clean, and then just wiping things off before putting them back in, giving everything a nice little refresh. And then just giving the outside one more wipe down, especially on this door, just because we have a cat who likes to splatter water on the door. So it's been a while since I've washed that down. And then here is our getting rid of pile. I'm actually impressed how much I found today. Again, it's one of those days that I did not expect to get much, and there's a nice little pile right here. But the room itself does not look any different. Even when you open up the cupboards, it just looks like I tidied. But it feels so much lighter. It's weird, I can't explain it. I think knowing that it's decluttered, it's ready for the holidays, for entertaining, I can find things, I know what I have, I know what I need. I think that just makes the room itself feel much more peaceful. So I'm gonna say that's a successful day 5, a very successful week 1. It is not too late to join the challenge. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll put the decluttering calendar and to-do list, all those printables in the description as well.